This portion of the news brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Convicted murderers Stephen Dye Stubbs, Andrew Davis, and Clinton Evans are a step closer to learning their sentences as one of the defense attorneys began his plea in mitigation today on behalf of Stubbs. As Fern Carey reports, the attorney laid out the reasons he says justify not granting or handing down the death penalty.
In his plea in mitigation on behalf of convicted murderer Stephen Dye Stubbs, attorney Muriel DeSille told the court that the 38-year-old father of two is a model prisoner and a good son. He indicated that there is nothing in Stubbs' probation report to suggest that he is beyond reform and noted that there is no need to lock Stubbs away from society. DeSille also indicated that the Crown did not follow proper procedure by notifying Stubbs of its intention to seek the death penalty when he was convicted, noting that the Crown also failed to reveal in writing why it is seeking the death penalty. As a result, DeSille said a death sentence should not even be considered by the court. And while the murder of a police officer is a serious offense, DeSille said Stubbs' case is not the worst of the worst or the rarest of the rare, and he suggested that Stubbs has shown no remorse because he believes he did not kill Officer Ambrose. DeSille also pointed out that the case is 14 years old and is way past the constitutional threshold. He also noted that Stubbs has an unqualified right to life. Now, before DeSille gave his plea in mitigation, he told the court that there is a perception that Stubbs is a very dangerous man due to the heavy police presence, which he said suggests that Bin Laden is here. Meantime, the defense also made strong objections during the proceedings to Crown prosecutors led by Director of Public Prosecutions Vanette Graham-Allen, calling the Registrar General to enter a death certificate for the deceased Jimmy Ambrose and to a police witness from the Criminal Records Office revealing the previous convictions of their clients and the victims involved. However, Graham-Allen stressed that the Crown has a duty and a burden to assist the court, particularly when it comes to a sentencing exercise and in relation to the previous convictions of the convicts. In the end, the court ruled that the officer could reveal the previous convictions of the convicts, however, he was not allowed to reveal the victims. The officer then indicated that Stubbs has convictions dating back to 1997, which include threats of death, assaulting a police officer, disorderly behavior, and obscene language. The sentencing hearing continues Thursday morning. Fern Carey, ZNS Network News.
Well, 4 persons allegedly connected to a car smuggling ring between the Capitol and Exuma faced those charges late Tuesday. 34-year-old Jason St. Mark Noble alone faced 2 counts of stealing and 6 counts of receiving, but he denied those charges. Noble, along with co-accused 27-year-old David Pierre of Williamstown, were both accused of allegedly stealing and receiving a Honda Inspired valued at $3,500 sometime on April 14th. Both pleaded not guilty. Pierre also faced a single count of receiving a 2002 Honda Inspire while in Georgetown between January 21st and October 11th. But that was not the end of the charges. Noble, Pierre, and 28-year-old Shantia Sears of Williamstown were accused of receiving a Honda vehicle valued at $3,000. The defendants all denied the charges. A 4th defendant, 34-year-old Gino Gray, was also accused of stealing and receiving a Honda Accord valued at $4,500. The offenses for which the accused are charged reportedly occurred between New Providence and Georgetown, as we said earlier. Now, 2 defendants, Gray and Sears, were granted bail, while Pierre and Noble were remanded to Her Majesty's Prison until October 28th for a bail hearing. Gray was granted bail in the sum of $10,000 with 2 sureties. He is also required to report to the Georgetown Police Station every Tuesday and Thursday before 6 p.m. Sears was granted $7,500 bail and required to report to the Georgetown Police Station every Tuesday before 6 as well. A status hearing is set for December 16th, 2013. Well, a foul odor emanating from within the magistrate's court forced the suspension of sessions yesterday and today. The new Chief Justice, Magistrate Joyanne Ferguson Pratt, apologized after the lunch break yesterday when court resumed for the smell. The smell, a result of a backup in all the ground floor bathrooms that developed late in the afternoon and resulted in the water flowing almost to the entrance of the court. We understand this is not the first time this problem has occurred. Chief Magistrate Ferguson Pratt said the matter was being rectified, calling the situation unbelievable. A number of matters were adjourned. However, the court did focus on cases considered emergencies. Those emergencies included hearing several first plea matters. After court adjourned, those exiting court had to make their way through the water that appeared to contain raw sewage and had a smell that caused some persons to cough and gag.
That's unfortunate. But just a reminder here, we started a new feature on the Bahamas tonight. It's, of course, our poll question. And the question for this week is, who should pay for the reception at Government House, which followed the swearing-in of Senator Carl Bethel about 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, there's a big controversy there. Yeah. Well, we want to find out from you, and so we want you to visit our website, and you can respond to our question by logging on to www.znsbahamas.com. We'll be waiting to hear from you. The results of that poll will be released on Friday, as will all of your responses in the weeks ahead.
Absolutely.
Well, still to come, local track and field athletes in training camp next month.
And the North Abaco MP setting the record straight about that project in his community.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
This is your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm Andrew Knowles. Fidelity Bank Limited is introducing more robust online security features to reduce against the increasing incidence of bank fraud that is prevalent in the country. Customers conducting online transactions will now use a special bank code. Bank officials say the code will be texted to the customer's cell phone each time an online transaction is initiated. This leads to a unique, randomly generated code that must be entered before Fidelity will process a transaction. Chief Executive Officer Anwar Sanderje says the bank is confident that the new security feature will substantially reduce incidents of online fraud. In other business news, Resorts World Bimini officials confirmed that it has, this year to date, paid more than $600,000 to vendors on the island for goods and services ranging from entertainment to housing, food and beverage, transportation, and event coordination. Assistant Manager for Resort World, Lisa Saunders, says the developer has had a positive impact on the business with a number of its employees housed there. And in international business news, GlaxoSmithKline's drug sales in China during the July to September quarter sank 61% after it was hit by a bribery scandal. The company's chief executive said it was too early to predict when the business might recover, but he added that there was absolutely no question of the company pulling out of China. The pharmaceutical giant allegedly used travel companies to bribe doctors and officials. That was your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm Andrew Knowles.